And I'm going to, where are you? Why are you under Tom's name? Let's see. Did you change your name? I'm making you co-host, Marianne. There you go. Terrific.
All
Perfect.
right.
Okay.
Welcome, everybody. Okay. Go.
Go. Okay, so just so you know, we're getting started, continuing with our YGYU University. Tonight we're covering step 3, which is create your prospect list. And it's really amazing because Dr. Corey is the leader who went through to explain about this particular item, and he kind of made a joke saying, oh, this is like the quietest one or the littlest one of the bunch, and it's really the most important, and it is the first thing that you should do as a leader, is sit down with your prospect, with your new business associate, with your new distributor, to help them in the first 24 hours make sure they are willing to make that list. And what's really terrific is when you go to YGYUniversity.com, it'll take you to the resource center. And if you go to step 3, there's a little download, which is a sheet, a contact list sheet. And your new person should be able to make a list of 100 people. And the big, most important thing to remember is never prejudge anyone. And when you prejudge someone, it means that you are making the decision for them. So you may have a preconceived notion in your head. They're not health conscious. They're not business oriented. They're too successful or too busy already. Any of these things that pop into your head, I want you to flush them right out from one ear and out the other and get rid of them and be able to say without a doubt, put those people on your list. And the best thing that you can do is get to know them to find out what it is that makes them tick. And of course, the best way that we are trained how to do that is what Tom and Denise Chenault have said is the coffee shop interview. And that coffee shop interview is spending time with someone, not throwing up all over them with information, but being able to sit down and get to know them more intimately, get to know them more deeply, find out how they tick, find out what their blood type is, find out everything you ever needed to know about them but don't. And this can be people that are very close to you. You can find close friends and family members that when you start asking the right questions, all of a sudden information will come out and you'll say, yeah, I never knew that about you. I never had any idea. And so don't prejudge them. Just be willing to at least put pen to paper and write down those 100 people. And Dr. Corey has said he can tell that if someone is unwilling to do that in their first 24 hours, then that means that they're not going to follow our system. And that means they're trying to reinvent the wheel. That means that they're going to try and build the business in a different way. And so Dr. Corey's rule of thumb is when he sees that happening, he kind of steps back and says, okay, in his mind, I'm going to allow them to do what they think they want to do. When they're ready to follow the system and be systematic in their approach, then I will be there to help them. Because you can't, what is it, push a wet spaghetti across the table, right? You have to be able to work with them. They have to work with you to be willing to do what needs to get done. So what we want to remember is that you don't prejudge. Keep in mind, have a level of confidence that you are offering a gift to these people of good health, high quality, abundant lifestyle, creating time that they are all craving. So listening for those 3 things. What is it that they need? And we're always finding out it's either health, money, or time. Those are the 3 basic things that people are looking for. And sometimes you'll think it's one thing, but you'll be talking with them about that one thing and it doesn't seem to ever click. It doesn't seem to work. And then all of a sudden it'll come out that it was not their core desire, that there was something else happening. You may think they need money, but really they're having health issues that they are private or haven't talked about, and then all of a sudden it'll come out and you'll boom, you get them on that point of what really, as Tom always tells us, wakes them up at 2:00 in the morning, because that's the way you're going to be able to have the most successful time dealing with people. The more people you have on the list, the better. So just keep allowing it to grow, keep adding to that list. One of the things that we do to help add to that list, if you think you don't have enough people that you know, we have this great page, if you're not aware of it yet, called 65 Days and a Wake Up. And it is a place where you can go through and have accountability with a group, with a team of us who have already gone through the process and graduated. And we're creating this habit, as we learned about in Gary Keller's The One Thing. You want to create this habit, and an average time frame is 66 days. Some things take more time to create a habit, and some things take less time because they're simpler. But the average is about 66 days. So if you continue that great behavior day in and day out, by the time you hit that 66th day, you are going to have created a terrific habit that will help build your business and help build that list, because part of the requirement is, as we go every single day, is 2 coffee shop interviews and 1 3-way. And the 3-way can either be with an upline leader or a crossline leader or someone who's going to resonate with them. That would be for thank you, Marianne, that would be for a business prospect, but also to use one of our wonderful tools like the health evaluation system to be able to get the information from people from a health perspective, to send them to hear Dead Doctors Don't Lie by Doc Wallach, to send them some information or share some product that, based upon the conversations that you have, that will help them. And so this 65 and a Wake Up will help you. If you think about it, at the end of those 66 days, you'll have acquired 2 people per day. Think about that. So that's 2 months of time, but you're acquiring all these people. But you should also sit down from the day one that you start your business or working with someone on your team and have them write down everybody, brothers, sisters, parents, children, friends, hairdressers, anybody that you have contact with, anybody that you do business with. Wherever you spend money, you can add those people to your list. Wherever you have dealt with somebody in a business capacity, add them to your list. All of those things. Church, any type of groups that you're involved in, moms and kids. When you're dealing with people who have a similar liking for something, anything, that connection that you can make, that's where you come up with this list. Okay, so how to create it. Start with your current era of life and work backward. And that has to do with where you've lived. So where you've lived, where you've worked, who the ages of your kids, and then kind of go back in time. I know that I've reconnected with a lot of people that I graduated high school with. And, social media is a great place to find that list, and you can go through. And your phone, think about your smartphone. Everyone has one, and go through that list and write them down. Even if it doesn't mean that they're going to be the first people you call, put them on that list, every single person. Then you can go through and qualify them based upon what needs you think they may have or things that you've talked about, but never, ever, ever take anyone off that list. And remember, sometimes no means not now. So help to encourage yourself and the people on your team to know that people should never come off of your list ever, unless they actually say to you, lose my number, don't ever talk to me again, I don't like you. But that's really funny. And Tom will say, sometimes people are thinking that, but they'll find every excuse in the book. But unless they actually say those words to you, never ever take them off your list. Keep loving them until you finally find that scab that you've picked long enough, that little soft spot, whatever it is that they need, so that all of a sudden they'll come back to you and beg you for what you have. So, for example, when you're thinking about those eras, who do I go to church with? Who do I know from my community organizations? Who were my close friends? who were my children's friends, and did I know their parents? Because remember, those baby boomers that are aging, every day there's somebody turning 60. Every day there's somebody that is trying to find a better way to feel better, to have better quality of life, to live longer, to look younger. All those people become great candidates. Who owns a business? Who has desire and drive? Who is health conscious? Who is looking to lose some weight? And I don't recommend that you call people and say, gee, you know what, I've noticed you're a little bit chunky there, and I thought maybe you'd like, that's not the way to go about it. But someone may have said to you, gee, oh my gosh, I'm working really hard. I've got this new workout program and I'm trying to lose weight, but it's not really working as well as I would like it to. And so not at that moment, but come back and talk with them some more and go back and forth until the perfect time where you say, when you mentioned to me that you were looking for something, did you really mean that you were looking for something? And they'll say, well, yeah, of course. And you say, well, if I had something that would help you with that, would you be interested? And that way you're asking their permission. So I want people to be unafraid to step out, to be able to talk to people. So go through your phone, go through your Facebook friends and any other social media platforms that you use. Go through old planners and journals. Go through your holiday card list. Go through occupations that you do business with or know. So is somebody an accountant, a realtor, a chiropractor, a dentist, an engineer, a florist, a fitness trainer, a graphic designer, a hairstylist, a nutritionist, a police officer, a salesperson, a teacher, a massage therapist, anybody else that you can think of that you would know that has great contacts with people, because that's the other thing I want you to keep in mind, is that these people they can lead you to other contacts, referrals, and leads if they aren't the ones. You can always ask permission. If you know of anybody who might be looking for ways to lose weight, would you please introduce them to me? Would you please refer them to me? And often people will be very helpful when you do that, because it takes the onus off of them. They're no longer feeling like they are under the microscope. And they'll say, oh, yeah, sure, I actually can think of somebody right now that would be, is looking for exactly what you're talking about. And so that's where I want you to be thinking of as you're building this list. That's why you don't prejudge, because even if it's not right, even if what we have is not right for that particular person now, they could have a whole list of people that they know that it would work for. I wanted to pause for a minute and see if Marianne had any things she'd like to add now, or if she'd like me to just keep on going.
I have a few things to add here.
Oh, good.
All right. Anyway, so one of the things from the stage at the Women's Go Pro, she said, remember, every dud knows a stud. And so even while we're talking about adding people to our list, we have to understand that it's not even so much about that person as much as it could be about the people that they know. And everybody knows on the average of 200 people. But one of the trainings I saw with Avelia, she said your prospect list is really your business plan. And when you think about it, you really can't do this business unless you're talking to people, right? And people are very apprehensive to start writing a list down. And I think that for me or for other people, it's kind of like, well, what are you going to do with this list? Why do you want these people's names? I don't know. It's almost like, when the guy who wants to sell you new windows comes into your house and he wants you to write down 5 people that, you could refer to go to buy windows as well. And so it's almost like we feel like, well, these are, people I know. I don't know if I want you to call them. And the thing is, we're not going to call them. You're going to call them. And you're just going to reconnect with them. And so your list is really a way to think about the people you've known in the past and reconnect with them. You don't even know if they need something like this, right? Until you do the interview, the CSI, or whatever it is. And that's all that you're doing, is looking for that. So you can start reestablishing a relationship. And you don't know. You just don't know until you have those conversations. But I like what she was saying about that. And so I know there's some people that I, even myself, might not have put on my list at one point, and ran into them later and come to find out not so much for them, but for someone else they know. The other thing I wanted to add was, oh shoot, I just lost it. I just forgot what I was going to say here. Okay. Somebody's computer or something was making noise. I'm just trying. Oh, and Tom talked about this the other day, is, all right, the conversation is, okay, Dee, I know you're never going to do network marketing. However, I know you know some people that might need something around this. And it kind of like what you were saying, Pamela. Would you give me referrals? And so trading referrals for people within your organization, within your list, your circle here, and then finding out if you can do the same for them, right? If you can refer people to them as well. And we do that for each other anyway. But we don't ask for it for ourselves, for our business. We don't do that enough. I don't do it enough. And so that's how this list is forever growing and forever will be your business plan for what you're doing in longevity. All right, anybody have any questions around that? Raising hands? No? Doesn't look like it. All right.
How many of you have a chicken list? Chicken list. Hey, Ruth Ellen, you want to elaborate on that for us?
Okay, my chicken list is all the people that I've done network marketing with before, where the company was like a company that we worked with. We bought leads, and then the people were put under us, and we paid for them basically. And we had hundreds, like I had 3,000 people under me. Okay. So then the company started selling this product, and they do a 6 months worth special. And then we found out that at 6 months, the customer became inactive. And then when they reordered, they went to the company because they were no longer active under us. They were inactive. So they basically stole all of our downline, pretty much. And so those people, I'm like terrified to contact any of them because it's just like they had this horrible experience and they don't want to do it again.
Okay, wait, is that an assumption that they had a horrible experience and they don't want to do it again? Because I had a horrible experience.
Partly.
Company went under. But guess what? I'm doing it again.
Yeah, that's
so is
true.
That your perception?
Yeah, a lot of this perception, except for the 3 people I talked to that said, oh, I won't repeat what they said.
Well, that's okay though. That's for them. It might not. It may never come around again. But I mean, I had 2 horrible experiences, and my first one, I told my husband I would never ever do network marketing again, and he believed me. But guess what? I did, and now I would never, never go back. So you just never know. You don't know where people are at. And I kind of have a similar thing within my my legacy group. It was just insanity what went on in that company prior to them coming in to longevity. And a lot of those people are angry. And they're more pissed off because they had their customer service was really easy to access, and they had all these fabulous things, right, that they really, really loved. But the company was sort of doing this, and they didn't know, they acted like we just went in and it was a hostile takeover, but it wasn't. So I know what you're talking about when you're calling people, but we just call them anyway. And that's all right. And we just empathy. with the whole entire conversation. And some of them are rude, that's for sure, and have some very not nice things. I just got an email from somebody who was, not very nice, and but that's okay. We work around it.
They just need more love,
They need more love. They do. They feel like they were abandoned, and they have all this stuff that's going on that is their perception of what's going on. But the people that are embracing it, I mean, Vincent is one. I love seeing Vincent on here, and we've got Andy Glick. Is Andy on, or I don't know if he's on tonight. But some of them are starting to come around and starting to understand what longevity is all about and what the opportunity is here. So, but,
okay.
but
there's another aspect to the chicken list that I want everyone to be aware of.
Talk about that.
Yeah. All right. Hang on. So the other aspect to the chicken list is the person who you think is too cool for school. How about that? They're the person that you're afraid to call because you're embarrassed, because you revere them too much. You think they're too big for what you have. And wouldn't it be wonderful if you could have a Tom and Denise Chenault, or a Dr. Corey Gold, or a Louis and Avilia Ariaza, or a Scott and Juliet Fardulis, any of these people? Can you imagine if you had them on your team? So one of the things that Alex Tice and Dr. Corey talk about is make sure that you don't just recruit people who you feel you have influence over. Also, recruit people who you feel parallel to, and those people who you respect, because we have a really amazing company here and a really incredible opportunity with fabulous products that every single person can find something to fall in love with. And so why won't you reach out to that person? And I'm talking to myself because I have some people on my chicken list who I think, oh my gosh, and it may even be somebody who you've contacted before that it wasn't the right timing for them at that particular time. But you need to be able to reach out and reach up and have confidence and know for a fact that with your posture, with the way you carry yourself, the way you speak, that people will say, wow, you know what? I like that Pamela, and she's really into this. And if this Pamela that I like is really into this, I really should take a look at it because it's obviously something very good. And so I want you to have that great attitude as you're writing the list. I don't want you going through and writing the list going, oh yeah, they'll never join. Oh, they don't care about health. Oh, they don't do this. I want you to just have a clean slate, positive attitude, because you're creating an energy that you're putting into this. And this is, like Marianne said, your business plan, and it never, ever goes away. If I could show you all of the contacts that I have that are ones that are constantly going, whether I use them in my contact mapping app and Rapid Funnel and the stuff I have in my phone and the things I have on paper, it would boggle your mind, because it really becomes a never-ending list of connections. And so don't ever, ever, ever give up on somebody, because this may be exactly what they need and you just haven't reached out to them yet. And wouldn't it be awful if you showed up at convention and that person that you were afraid to talk to is now all of a sudden walking across the stage because they've achieved a certain star rank, and they turn around and go, oh, Pamela, I didn't know you were here. Yes, Miriam, what do you have to add to that?
Okay, I have a story that, so I met this gentleman at a coffee shop that Tom used to have a coffee shop called Buzz Coffee. I met a guy there. He's a lawyer. He was a libertarian. He was running for, I can't even remember now, something. We had this great conversation all about network marketing. And I had his card. And anyway, once I found out, who he was and what he was all about, I was a nervous wreck. I didn't want to call him. And I showed up at a meeting. He was there. He's a 1-star, and he's that John Finger that does meetings every week down in Colorado. And I met him and introduce, he didn't even know anything about network marketing. But then I got afraid to follow up with him and talk to him about it. And somebody else did. They signed him up and he became a 1-star. So, you know, I have to kick myself every day and remember about that. And I have, in what Pamela was talking about is reaching up is so right, because those are the people, you know, when we're doing this Star School leadership, and when you start talking about what kind of a leader are you, right? And so who's coming at you? Who are you attracting? And you, by becoming better, you can attract better people. The other thing I wanted to say just really quick too, and Dee and I did this in our 30 Days to Awesome, but we created what you call an avatar. And so really, as you're going through this list, and something I haven't seen here, but I've seen before, is you kind of rate these people, right? And I'll have to find that. I have it somewhere. So you might say, oh, they're married, and that would rate them as a 2 or something. And, oh, they have, this is going on, and that rates them as a 3. And so then what you do is you start contacting the people that have the higher ratings that are like a 5. Has anybody ever done anything along those lines before?
No, but I like it.
Yeah, I'll have to find that. I'm sure it's in one of my notebooks. But anyway, so it's a great little chart to kind of rate people as you're going along. And do they fit into your avatar? And so an avatar is really who best fits who you're looking for in this business. And while we love to say, you know, anybody, it could be anybody, but there's going to be people that are a little bit more fit in this. You know, somebody who's more health conscious, right? They're going to kind of embrace the nutrition side. Somebody who's more entrepreneurial, they might embrace this more, right? And so giving people a rating according to who they are in your circle of influence. And so that might give you a better idea as you're going along as to who are the people I want to call first. Who are the people that I know I can generate a conversation with that might be a better fit for what I'm doing than, you know, other people that are not.
Yeah, that's really great. And that's kind of where we're looking at, and we'll come with you in a second, Jennifer, that there's having a why for yourself, but also kind of having an understanding of what the other person's why is. And so as you are contact mapping them, as you're getting to know them through the coffee shop interview and getting to know them on a deeper level, that you are coming to understand what their why is. And then as they come in, if they decide to become a business builder, you can kind of help them when they're going through this growth process of understanding what their why is. So hang on a sec. You may have to unmute yourself, Jennifer. There you go.
Thank you so much. I just wanted to share something about this concept of an avatar, because I've had that training about actually envisioning or intending and writing out your sort of perfect customer or the person that you think you can reach. And I just dawned on me that I think that that would be really powerful for us to focus a little bit more on, so we actually attract the person and in our list. Because I know for me, I mean, I'm open to everybody. I'll talk to anybody, and yeah, you know, I mean, of course I vet them and stuff, but with the coffee shop interview, but I think I'm going to start implementing that avatar concept. So Marianne, thank you for bringing that back up. That's a really strong, if nothing else, law of attraction tool, you know, and it helps us expand and be willing to go after people who are already successful, who are already, you know, who aren't necessarily desperate, right, for financial gain or whatever the situation is. You know, sometimes we think of people, we want them to join our business because they need to, because they're so desperate financially. Well, those are not necessarily the best business partners. So thank you for bringing that up.
And the other thing, you know, I'm doing this LinkedIn training, and I know you've heard Tom talk about it just a little bit, but here's what I thought was really interesting, was the statistics on, let's see if I can find it here, around income, okay? So the average person on Facebook's income is 61,000, which is not a heck of, that's maybe a little above average, but if you're looking to attract people, the average income on LinkedIn is over 100,000. Okay, 113,000. So you're absolutely right, Jennifer, because when people come to me and say, everybody I meet, they can't afford these products, because that's who they're attracting. That's who they're bringing to them. The people that are not able to afford these products, or, somebody's like, well, they're talking to people that are drinking soda every day and eating McDonald's, and those are not the people that are looking like I was saying earlier. When you're reading people, people that are more nutritional, they're more conscious about what they're eating. They're watching what they're eating, or like me, I watch what I eat. I just eat it anyway, but you know what I'm saying? And so when you're those people, you're going to have a better response from. And you're right. These products, people can afford this. It's just where their mindset is. And it might be of lack, versus abundance. So like you said, I want people who believe in abundance and who do want to, get better. And Jen, Pamela kind of said this, and well, are you serious? On a 1 to 10 basis, how serious are you? You've been telling me you have health issues for, 3 years. But have you changed your seriousness around that? I don't see you doing anything. Are you serious about doing something? So, and if they say they're a 7 or 8 or 9, something like that, then they're serious. If they're not serious, they talked about this so much from the stage at the Women's Go Pro about not wasting so much time. And I've done it. My people have done it. Most of us have done it. We've spent so much time on somebody that's never really going to do this because it's not a priority. It's not where they're at. Our heart goes out to them because we know they're sick, or we know there's things, or money-wise, we know they're broke. It's just not their time. Like Pamela said, it's just not their time. And so it's not our time either, because if we're wanting to build this business, we need to be talking to the right people versus, trying to convince people. Anybody else have anything they want to add?
I was just going to add to what you said there was, I was just typing, love them where they are, come back and check on them, but don't get stuck there.
It's true. If we love them so much, we hate to leave them there. But sometimes that's, what they're going to need, because they're not ready to make a change. They're not there. And the nudging, we talked about, I think on one of our trainings, they had it at the convention, and I just love that training about moving people along, right? Nudging them along to get them, because you got this bright idea over here and they're way over here. They haven't even looked at, the idea of nutrition yet. They still think the FDA is on our side, right? And so moving them a little bit at a time until they get to here, and all of a sudden it's like, wow, the light goes on. So
and remember, move that box.
Yeah, move the box. Yeah, don't get stuck there. I like that. Anybody else? Anybody want to add anything or ask some questions? This is kind of a short lesson, but a huge one. Because again, you can't do this business if you don't have a list of people to talk to.
I just wanted to bring up a point, right, of someone from Legacy.
Yeah. Oh, right, yeah.
And someone from Legacy, he had this one strong philosophy about people. He said, I got to the stage because I had 8,000 no's.
Mm-hmm.
And in other words, people will always go for, anything as long as you can keep up the momentum of speaking to them. A lot of people start and then they find a way to stop talking to people. And that's something that, you know, in the beginning when I started in Legacy, that was always, I used to have people tell me, say, why are you asking them? Why are you talking to them? Right? And, you know, you need to get 8,000 no's. And you might get 10,000 yeses on the way to 8,000 no's. But that's my thought. Thank you.
Oh, I love that. Oh
that's
my gosh,
good.
that just brought up the whole thing about the only failure that doesn't lead to success is the one that makes you stop. And so if you can keep that in mind and be grateful, because a lot of times we get stuck on that no. And we're there, but why? But why would you say no? This is so great. We have such great products. We have such a great company. I'm so great. Don't you want to be with me all the time? And we get stuck and thinking that we have to convince people. But instead, we should be grateful for that no, because then we can move on. And so even though we hear no, keep them in the not for now list. Again, because this list is what you're going to do. This list is a living entity of who you will contact and who did you contact. And so you want to make sure you keep that flowing. But isn't it great? Now you can move somebody from that list and go down to the next person. But we get stuck. And that's the biggest difficulty, because we take that no as a personal affront. And that's what we shouldn't do. We should understand that this is about them. It's never about us, whether they say yes or no. We have to understand, we have to go through what we don't want to realize what we do want. I love that, David.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
Only just 1 second. I wanted to add to that really quick too, Pamela, is that I can't remember if it was a Randy Gage book or some book, but they said, you know, you've become a professional network marketer when somebody tells you no, and you're right on to the next person. And I remember I had this guy that I worked on for a really long time. And he even flew out to Colorado, and I met him and his wife and his daughter. He took me out to lunch, you know, and I knew he was going to join my business. And anyway, he's, you know, kind of disappeared. I didn't hear back from him, and it took a while. And then finally, he called me and goes, you know, I'm embarrassed to say I joined another company. And I said, look, you know, if that other company fits you, what you were looking for, then I'm happy for you. And he said, yeah, it really does. And I just remember I hung up the phone, had to make another call. It was like, you know, a couple hours later, and all of a sudden I was like, wow, I must, you know, I've become professional because I didn't miss a beat. It was good for him, and I was happy for him, and that's how I left it. And we still are good friends. We still communicate. And him and his wife ended up moving out to Colorado. Can you believe that? All right, Colleen, what's going on?
Okay, so at the event, they talked about how, you know, go onto certain pages of social media, find your groups that are you. And then you collect friends that way as well. You'll collect prospects, because you find yourself getting in conversations with people that you have a lot in common with.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that one where she, you know, are you a soccer mom? Go look up soccer groups. Are you, you know, so I thought that was really neat, because then you kind of are on a one-on-one with people that are interested in things that you're interested in.
Yeah,
So
you have a commonality with them, and you know, no, that's great.
Thank you. That's nice.
Who else? Anybody? Okay. If that's it, if nobody has any questions, you know, if you haven't watched the videos, go watch the videos. They're great. Alex is great. Dr. Corey Gold, I saw him speak at my very first convention in longevity and just fell in love with him. And I've just learned so much from him while I've been here. So he's a great leader, great guy to listen to. And, somebody else. Oh, can I ask a question? Yes.
Yes.
Go ahead.
You know what? Dr. Corey is, I'm sorry. Who was asking the question? Were you looking at me or someone else?
I had a question.
No, it was just where do we find these videos? Like you were talking about Avelia's video on your prospect list, and Dr. Corey's videos and things like that. I know they're in Vimeo. for
So Dr.
longevity.
Corey, if you go to the university,
Uh-huh.
part 3, getting started in there is with Dr. Corey. So there's there is a video in there. Avelia, we had some, Vimeo videos under the longevity. And you were asking about that earlier. Let me look here.
Yeah. I'm having trouble sifting through all of those videos to find what I'm looking for.
Yeah, the
Does that make
ones that
sense?
were, we did some virtual trainings, and that's where the video with Avelia was in there. Let me see here.
And
All right,
while you're looking for that, I want
Yeah.
to just talk about Dr. Corey again for a minute,
Yeah, go
because listening to what we've just been hearing about Melissa Don Carlos in Oklahoma and what's happening there, or was happening there with the fires, it reminds me of when my company Beyond Organic came into longevity, and Dr. Corey is our immediate upline, and he was doing all the training with us. And he was doing this visual training with us before it was really like a cool thing to do or a simple thing to do. And so I remember, this is going back, it's almost 4 years now, and we were doing this training together, and he said, I just want to let you guys know that this is really important to me, that I spend time with you, that you understand all that there is to know about this longevity family, because I know how scary it is coming in with a new company, and this is all new, and you've got different stuff going on, and what do I make of all of this? And he said, but if I get that nudge, then I'm going to have to run, because we're in the wildfire zone in California, and we're on the edge of being evacuated. And I just want you to understand the level of commitment that leadership has for us, so that Dr. Corey was with us, and he was right up until the 11th hour, when he was literally saying, okay, guys, I've just been added to the evacuation list. I have to get my family out of here. And I just want you to understand that the leadership here will go through the fire for you. And that's what I think people forget, is that we're all, even though we're in business for ourselves, we're not in business by ourselves. And that we need to be able to reach out, reach across, have an opportunity to work with people. This is a company like nothing I've ever seen before. And I've been in this industry for about 15 years. And I will tell you that longevity is the best as far as relationships are concerned, as far as credibility is concerned, and true commitment by the leadership for us. And so never, ever, ever feel like you are an odd person out, because any of us is willing to help you. And as far as your prospect is concerned, we are the third party expert. So use the person that you feel will most connect with your prospect when you do those three-way calls. I just wanted to add that little bit in.
Okay, I was just trying to search out some videos, and yeah, I'm having a hard time too. Dee. I'll see if I can find that link for that Evalia. And then what we're doing is we're posting these on Masters of Enrollment. I've put a page up there. And so if you go there and scroll down where it says Longevity University Group Training. And so week 2, we have longevity module 1 up there. Oh, we did module, did we do module 2? I have to look. I think we did module 2.
For this?
Yeah, because this is module,
This is 3.
This is 3, okay.
Yeah, they're there. And you can also go to our team page, constellationteam.com. You can find the videos for this training there as well.
All right.
Under the training section of that page.
All right. I think we're done. Thanks, you guys. Thanks for coming on. Hopefully this helps. And we'll be on module 4 next week.
Yep. Yeah. And module 4, just so you know, step 4, 5 simple steps to successful inviting. So we're taking that list that we've learned to how to complete here, and now taking it to that next step. So that's where the rubber meets the road, when we actually use the list and start working with people. So it's a good
Hello, Pamela.
Yes.
Hi, it's Imogene.
Hi, Imogene. What's your question or your comment?
I have a question regarding where I could find. I probably did not get all of these modules. I joined up today for the first time, and so if you could
Oh,
help me
sure.
find those.
Sure. You can go to, like Marianne was saying, mastersofen.rollment.com.
Okay.
Or, I'll give you my team page.
All right, I'm going to put
Go.
that link up and then.
There
Yep,
you go.
yours.
And mine is constellationteam.com, where you can find the links there too. So we have them in multiple places to make it easy for you guys to find.
Great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, darling. Anybody else? You're good.
All right.
That one's
All
good.
right, you guys.
All right, everybody. Well, love you bunches, and have a blessed week.
Love you guys.
Love you guys. Let me know about Friday.
All right.
Bye.
Have a blessed
Thank
night.
you.
All right.
Have a blessed night.
You too.